Why go out to Outback Steakhouse when I can teach you how to make this steak and everything that they make at that restaurant right at home in your backyard? Outback Steakhouse, an absolute 90s classic. Outback is an amalgamation of some of my favorite childhood memories. The bloomin' onion, come on, all the way to their classically cooked steaks. Let's see if we can recreate Outback classics right here on our fire grill with me and you, intimately next to the fire. What makes Outback such a classic? The seasoning. Finding as many copycat recipes as possible and figuring out what exactly goes into the seasoning was a journey. We're here, and I think I found it. What we got in here, we have the classics: salt, pepper, and garlic. We're gonna have a little bit of smoked paprika. We have some onion. We have some chili powder, cayenne, and brown sugar. This is the classic rub. And so today, I'm gonna be making the biggest steak known to man. It's a cowboy ribeye. I don't even think that they sell this at Outback, but I thought, you know what? Let's make an Outback steak. And then I'm making a New York strip with the shrimp on the Barbie. You're gonna mix this all together. You can find the perfect ratio for this recipe in the link in my description. Try not to cough like crazy like Jordan did. The truth is, God, that was gonna be the perfect take. Okay, so we now have it fully blended together. All right, so I'm gonna add just a little bit of oil as a binder. That could have been terrible. So fun fact, we just did a video where we tested all of the classic steak binders to see which one is the best. The answer might surprise you. Stay tuned for that. Just gonna heavily coat this guy. Get that like orangish red color that is traditional on like Outback steaks, which is mostly the paprika, the chili powder, and then that brown sugar, man. You know, I'm not super sold that beef and sugar work very well, but for some odd reason, this rub does work. So we got everything slathered and lathered. I'm gonna set this to the side, and we're gonna start with making the bloomin' onion because that's gonna take the longest to cook, and then we're gonna throw these steaks on. Bloomin' onions are like childhood gold. And honestly, it's really not that difficult to make. It just takes a little bit of time and love and intimacy next to the fire. So the first thing that we really need is an onion. So let's grab that. We have ourselves a classic yellow onion or sweet onion. That's probably what you want to shoot for. I would not recommend a red or a white. It might be too sharp. We want one that's super bulbous, as you can see, like Bulbasaur. I'm gonna leave the root on for now and then the stem up here. We're gonna slice this off. Gotta start peeling as much of this back as humanly possible. This is the worst part of this entire cook. And take off that first layer because it's got all the skin on it and you just don't want to eat that. Okay, so we got this all peeled back, slice right down the middle. Make sure to be still quite a distance away from the bottom because you know you don't want it to completely snap in half. And then we're gonna make it cross, same slice, and then just repeat this. All right, so we got our bloomin' onion out. Be really careful, they want to break, but you just wanna bloom them out a little bit, get some separation, because we wanna make sure that we get all the seasoning and everything else in between so that you get like really, really awesome pieces. So we have our onion ready to go, and now let's talk about our dredging. Dredge is just where we're taking like an egg wash, and then we're doing flour, seasoned flour usually, to get that outside coating that we all love about bloomin' onions. So I have some all-purpose flour in here. I have one egg that, well, let's try the viral method. I've never tried this before. That was way too much. I don't understand how everybody does that. Maybe I shouldn't have dropped it from like 25 feet in the air. I'm gonna add a little bit of milk into our egg wash, mix this all up, and then I'm gonna take some leftover seasoning from the steak, add that into the flour. And then we're gonna mix together that flour and seasoning so it gets like evenly coated everywhere. I'm gonna add this onion into the flour first because it's gonna help get the wet ingredients to stick better. So we're gonna really coat it well. Honestly, it's just a good first step with anything, especially like fried chicken or anything else like that. Now we're gonna add it in to the wet dredge. This is not a deep enough dish, but we're just gonna dredge the outside as best as we can. But that's okay, just grab yourself a spoon and coat this guy up as much as you can everywhere. Make sure to like separate it as much as you can so that you can get the dredge in there. And then last, after this is fully coated and you got it looking as best as possible, we're gonna throw it back into the dry to get that finished outside coating. And now it should really stick. and just really coat this guy up, pat it like a little baby, get all that excess out, and now we're ready to go. So I'm gonna leave this here in that flour. Let's go and get our oil ready to go. So I got my oil ready to go. We're at like 350, 375. I'm gonna drop this guy in very carefully. We're gonna cook him for just maybe like 2-3 minutes on one side, flip it over, cook it for another minute or so, and then we are done. We'll flip it over here in a second. Once it starts to get that like beautiful golden brown color, flip him. Now, a few things about this. You're more than welcome to not cook it in like frying oil. There's a ton of recipes online where you can cook this guy straight in your air fryer or in an oven. I think the air fryer is probably a better option than an oven. A lot less oil, a lot less fat. This is the traditional bloomin' onion recipe, is cooking it in deep fried oil. Okay, this is looking pretty good, man. Our bloomin' onion, homemade. So we're gonna set this to the side, let it cool, and let's work on the steaks. To go with the bloomin' onion, you have to have the bloomin' sauce. So we're gonna mix that up right now. So I have mayonnaise, ketchup, and prepared horseradish in this bowl. I'm gonna add some salt, pepper, garlic, and a touch of paprika, and that's it. Mix this bad boy together. We're gonna set this to the side. Let's start cooking some steak and shrimp. I have the biggest bone-in ribeye known to man. Nice. I'm gonna add my shrimp on. These are gonna cook the fastest. New York strip. All right, let's let it cook. Okay, our ribeye is done. We're gonna pull this guy off. We're gonna let him rest for like 10-15 minutes and then let's serve up. So the steak has been resting. I'm gonna put a little bit of butter on and let's slice it up. Oh, so look at that beauty. Look at that. Juicy, juicy. Dude, that thing is perfect. I love the crust, I love the look of it. Let's plate it all up. Our bone-in ribeye, we got our shrimp and strip steak, some steamed broccoli, the bloomin' onion with the bloomin' sauce, a loaded baked potato. Boom, look at this. Look at that epicness. This is just for one person. This is probably for like a family of 4. This looks incredible. And honestly, pretty easy to do. Try ourselves some of the ribeye. That's incredible. Seasoning, that works. The spiciness with a little bit of that brown sugar, 10 out of 10. Crocky, that's not a knife. This is a knife. Dude, that is incredible. Classic, brings back childhood memories. Like, it's hard to beat a good bloomin' onion. Outback, you outdid yourself and you can make it at home too. Go and check out the recipe. Go and grab my seasonings, my sauces, all the fun things. That's in the description as well. You can go and check out my new fire grill that we cooked on, fyr.com. You can go and get that right now. And as always, stay so freaking delicious. Cheers. You're cooking your Outback Steakhouse wrong. Let's make Outback Steakhouse.